Hello friends and welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. My name is Nick and today we're going to be checking out NaissanceE by developer Lemmas5. It is a UDK developed first-person exploratory game that is up on Steam and one that I've had a lot of requests to check out, and I'm very enthusiastic about wanting to check this out because it is basically exactly the type of thing I look for to cover on the channel. So we're going to be doing a little bit of introspection and contemplation and all that good stuff while we explore a very beautiful and very ornate and detailed world that I honestly don't know much of anything about, so I'm very excited to give this a try. Let's just go into the credits very quickly so you can see all the credits of the people responsible for this game, as well as we will just take a very quick look at the options menu, as well as also the graphical settings menu. Is there anything here I really need to know about? Pretty straightforward stuff, actually. There is a use button, so that's a little bit indicative of what to expect. I have not played this at all, so this is going to be completely blind. I have not even watched any footage of it or anything, so this is going to be my very first time experiencing this game. So I think that is about everything we need to see. I turned the brightness up a little bit extra because I know YouTube tends to make things extra dark. So why don't we start it up, and here we go. Well, that was very exciting. So it looks like we were being chased through some corridors by some combination of the smoke monster from Lost, the particle monster from Antechamber, and maybe a little of that monster from Dream, another indie game. Seems like there's all sort of a confluence here of all these things coming together. So I think we're about to gain control of our character. We're in a sort of a daze, having just fallen through what looks to be many floors of a very surreal structure that I have honestly no idea what it is that we're supposed to be inside of right yet. But from everything I've read about it, it's supposed to be very incredibly interesting and very imposing. Lucy is lost, and Lucy looks to have also cracked a few sheets of some sort of stone slab, which could have in some other fashion been maybe a mattress to break your fall. Not so today. So let us head into what appears to be the only door available and see where this takes us. Oh, goodness. I found a native lens flare. What are you? Okay, well, it's going to have some tutorial elements, I guess, as we get started here. Interesting, this lens flare isn't the typical one. I think this actually has some different effects than I'm used to. It's got like a purple-blue haze to it, and then this circular radial pattern coming out. I think I'm basically describing a lens flare, I understand, but it looks a little different from the ones I'm used to seeing. So we'll press space to jump. This is a very strange structure. I need to find my way through it, and I really do appreciate that everything has some dynamic lighting, and the fact that this lighting effect that we're chasing after is also leaving some sort of crazy, like, oily thing in the air as it goes. Alright, so we'll wander through here. I could imagine this being like a challenge map in Mirror's Edge for us to have to parkour through. Oh, I didn't quite make that jump, but I seem to have been saved by some sort of edge underneath. Oh, and it looks like there might be falling damage, which sort of betrays the fact that I just fell through a bunch of rocks, or fell into a bunch of rocks a moment ago. And once we miss one of the jumps, it looks like the path is quite dark going back up it again. I'm really enjoying, though, like, every one of these areas where the light has stopped. It almost looks like I can make a desktop wallpaper by doing a screen grab on whatever it is that I'm looking at. Alright, so it's going to lead us up and over. How do I need to make this? Oh, is this another ladder here? Okay. And up again. How about I go through here? Is this an option for me? Very well may be. So we're doing a little bit of Solid Snake vent shaft exploration, perhaps. And this doesn't appear to be where the light went, but that's okay, because it seems to be a totally different place anyway. So far, not a whole lot in the way of textures, but I kind of like it better for that. I think the fact that there aren't any textures lets you really focus on the geometry and the structures and how alien they look together. Is this where I'm supposed to go? No, this seems like a dead end. Oh, there's bizarre sounds coming from somewhere. I'm not sure quite where, though. Oh, pretty light rays coming through there. I mean, a lot of these things are all to do with Unreal Engine, I suppose. Where's that sound coming from? My goodness. But it's one thing to have access to features, and it's another thing to use them in an interesting and different way. And what on earth is going on in this room? Oh, that is such a cool pattern, and everything just got bright. I cannot see anything. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's so pretty. Oh, this is actually reminding me of a game that I played a long, long time ago. It was a Unity game. I think it was called Connection. Involved me turning and rotating little tiles in the air that sort of looked a little bit like Tetris blocks to form these little, like, abstract patterns that then would turn into blocks. Press shift to run a short time, okay. I think I can't do that because I'm stunned from falling too far. But anyway, yeah, it's reminding me a little bit of that game in the fact that there's all of this just geometry, these, you know, primitives that are all built out of the wall like that. Because I remember coming to a precipice and looking out over a vast landscape, and it had just a ton of that sort of thing. That is gorgeous. Press mouse 1 to breathe when blinking circle appears. Alright, none of those things are happening for me right now. Oh, there it is. So I gotta remember to breathe. Fair point. I could imagine this being like some sort of crazy Minecraft plugin or mod that makes everything look super futuristic. Like we're in the middle of some kind of, you know, post-futurist rock quarry or something like that. Oh my goodness, what is going on up there? I'm also getting a lot of, like, we could be in the Star Wars, you know, running away from stormtroopers type of scenario where there's just doors opening and closing and people hunting us down. Kind of feels like what we're into right now. And this is a crazy long draw distance, too. I guess good thing I can run then, right? What happens if I forget to run long enough? I guess I get lightheaded and fall over or something. Oh, that is so pretty. I love that it's monochromatic, too, and it's interesting that I just happened to cover another fairly monochromatic game the other day with NaissanceE, if that is the correct way to pronounce that title. I never was sure. But it's another game that is very surreal, although that one was essentially all about a glitchscape. This one's more geometrically sound, and the walls, as you can see, are very, very well solid. So basically the complete opposite. This is all about structure and solidity and imposition and, you know, weight, whereas the other situation was very much flighty and tough to nail down to anything. So now I feel like I'm about to go into an interview with Darth Vader in this room. Very sterile. Is this a door? Oh, right, E? Is E a... No, E doesn't seem to be a thing here. This does not appear to go anywhere? Alright, maybe there's another way through. What is this? Why is this light so bright over here? This doesn't seem to go anywhere. Does this take me up? Nope. I love that there's no hand-holding either. Like, it told you about crouching and stuff, and that was about it. Like, crouch, will learn how to jump in a few seconds, and you're pretty much on your own after that. Oh, is that it? Okay, one of them is open. I didn't notice that. Wonder if it was open while I was in there before. It probably was. Just didn't see it. Oh, this is so pretty. I'm so enjoying just getting to see and experience a world like this. And, you know, it's in a lot of ways, it's kind of simple, too. I mean, I've done some work with UDK before. I know kind of roughly how these maps tend to come together. And it's pretty impressive how, you know, in not a crazy long amount of time, you can start to really make something really impactful and interesting looking like this. So I'm not saying they didn't put a ton of work into it. They clearly did. But it is like a whole nother level knowing that this is not something that's like a million light years away from possibility of being created by another person too, or at least, you know, expounded upon. So we're navigating a maze in the dark right now. And these light beams seem to be telling us to follow a certain path. Sort of worrying that maybe a Pac-Man ghost is going to jump out and eat me all of a sudden. I could see that there was a tile that was lit up in that direction, so we're going to go in the opposite. Am I directing this ball by hitting into it? I may be. Does this go anywhere this way? Nope. Does not appear so. And I do not seem to get any kind of flashlight, so I'm kind of on my own for figuring this stuff out. This scene right here, this single shot that I'm looking at, is totally reminding me of Metroid Prime as well. Probably a good thing to remind someone of if I was to guess. I'm a huge fan, by the way, so I'm not leaving that to be ambiguous at all. Oh, what is going on over there? There's a crazy lighting effect. Oh, things have broken the grid on this side. Things are falling apart. I don't know if this is some sort of a realm of, you know, impossible geometry based on being theoretically existing, or if there's a reason for things to look the way they are. Look at the contrast on that. That's so cool. I'm such a sucker for, like, dynamic lighting effects. I don't know what it is. But seeing images like this, the lighting effects with the geometry, it's just so nice. Alright, let's keep going. Is this open? Nope. Oh, stairs behind me again. I wonder if these cues are intentional to mislead me every time, because I keep seeing these things that look like doors that I might be able to interact with, and every time I think I can interact with them, it leaves me with this feeling of slight futility and powerlessness. And I can't seem to make it up this either. Alright, that's a little worrisome. Maybe there's... Oh, I'm probably supposed to use the light to see that I can walk across here. Okay. You know, I often try to read into the minds of the people who made the game when I start to walk through their creation like this, and sometimes it's a little bit difficult to get your footing of, like, what you can expect from a certain developer. They seem to be a little bit of a wild card, and in this case, I feel like I don't really have a lot of strict rules to play along with yet to be able to start to build inference on what exactly they're trying to say. And that's kind of, in a way, the fact that it's disconcerting is also kind of comforting, because it means that I'm not going to fall into some repetition or, you know, easily figure out the patterns that are going to be ahead of me, and that sort of makes this all the more intriguing. Am I supposed to fall down here? Like, the fact that I don't even know, there's no obvious cue for me here. There's some lighting effects, but they're not really giving me a lot to work with. And I can't really figure out yet if I'm supposed to be following this down. I'm starting to think I am, though, because there doesn't seem to be anything going on up here, which is sort of funneling me downward little by little. I think I just keep walking along this, and it might go around in a circle. Oh, there's a... Okay, there's a platform leading down a little bit. Oh, careful. I don't know if this might be too far for me to leap down from, so I gotta be pretty careful about this. And the lighting effects seem to be dissipating, I think because I've made it this far down, or... Okay, no, they're actually just working their way down again. Okay, that was a little bit of a long fall, but we made it. Yeah, this is very anti-chamber right now, and I love it. I mean, it doesn't have the cel-shaded effect. This is much more naturalistic. But as much as it's naturalistic, it's just equally as surreal. Which, I guess, kind of defeats the naturalism that I was just referencing. Oh, what is this cube gonna do? It's very bright. I love glowing things. What is your deal, cube? You want to hang out? Seems to be... Oh, okay, so I can explore with these by, I think, using E on them? Or maybe they just go off on their own. I can't quite tell. This is very disorienting. I'm not gaining some sort of, like, an understanding of the geometry around me by this. Okay, I think we've gotta keep moving oh, okay, I guess this is much shorter than I expected. Thought we were gonna have a long cavern of a whole bunch of those effects that I was gonna need to keep blowing up. Now we've got all of a sudden some very normal looking geometry, or at least compared to what we were just looking at a moment ago. Normal if we were in the year 3000, I suppose, or some sort of high sci-fi world, maybe in the ship of the SS Normandy or something. Run to jump longer. Okay, I can do this. Well, I can't if the light's going to be really far away. Alright, thank goodness it came back, because I would have had no idea how to find my footing again if not for that. I think I'm supposed to just chase this sucker. Oh, goodness, we've got minor parkour now. I was not expecting that to be a thing. And it looks like 2 ways we can go. Nope, possibly another dead end. Alright, fair enough. Let's go back this way. And a staircase up. I know this is less of a critique and more of like I'm almost just let's playing it, but I'm not sure what to say because they're not giving me a ton of like story or anything to go on. This is very much just completely a surreal exploratory experience, which is kind of the purity of something like this that I rarely see, and I kind of really am enjoying that. I almost feel like we're in the middle of, like, Half-Life or something, only a surreal version of Half-Life. That did not end well for us, so I guess now we'll see what happens when we fall to our death. Okay, it reloads us at a reasonably close proximity to where we fell. Okay, I guess we'll just run across this again. And if I can make my way back up in the dark... Alright, let's do this. Nope, let's not do this. That's apparently harder than I keep expecting it to be every single time. I've got to be pretty much right on top of the jump as soon as I start to go. I think I'm supposed to just, like, run... Oh my goodness, the jump seems to be not quite as responsive as I'd hope. Come on back. We'll get it on the next one. Oh, hey, I wasn't ready yet. Alright, fine. And we've got... Oh, it actually filled in the gaps there, didn't it? Unless I was going backward just now. Did it notice that I failed that too many times, and then maybe it built more platforms for me or something like that? That could be interesting if that's what actually happened. Oh, I guess I could have just not made that jump across and just ducked. My fault. Anyway, I was saying earlier, it seems a little bit to me like something like Half-Life in that you really have no idea where the boundaries of the areas that people are supposed to inhabit are, and you kind of feel like you're off the rails in a way. Which is a good feeling to have. It's the feeling that I see very rarely in games, and I think also it was rather evoked by Portal in the later stages of things when you started to not really play by the rules anymore, and it just sort of felt like you were freeform exploring in places you weren't meant to be. I really enjoy when people can evoke that feeling. Oh, what is that? That's so pretty. Oh goodness, there's so many cool effects going on. Do I get to look into these more, or is this just like a one-time deal? Oh, I can actually... Oh, it crushes me. Okay, so I guess it's like temporarily suspending materiality, if that's a word. It may not be. And do we get to do the jumping sequence again? No, okay, we're right here. That's probably for the best. Look at the scope of everything. The scale of it is massive. I mean, what even is the point of a lot of this stuff? I have no idea, but the fact that we don't know makes it all the more enigmatic and interesting and compelling, I feel. This might not be a thing for everybody, and I think that's probably something that'll become rather evident pretty quickly, but it's certainly something for me. And there's, like, little hints at things we understand and know, like the fact that there's even lights here at all, the fact that there's vents blowing some sort of gas in, and then the fact that there's steps, which means that things are sort of catered to someone of my size and scale, despite the fact that this room is so enormous. So it almost seems like the geography and the geometry is at odds with the concept of its own existence, which is something that I find really interesting, and sort of feels a little bit of, like, very vaguely horror-inspired, too. This could almost be like an H.R. Geiger type situation where we've got a temple set up for massive aliens or something, and this is where the people could come to worship them. I mean, I have no idea where, or if there's any truth to that concept, but it's just something that seems to ring true to me, having seen a little bit of that material. What is that down there? There's a freaking pile of lights that go on down into nowhere. I really don't want to stop playing this. Look at this. This light is going up along all of this path, all the way up to the top, and then I guess it zips back down so I can follow it along. Fair enough. I guess you'll be my guide today, little light. Let's do this. I shall follow you until I cannot breathe properly, and then I will click my button. And I think all the thing is showing me is essentially just where these gaps are, because if it's completely dark, I'm not going to be able to see where I would have fallen through. Oh, okay. Yep. It's, I'm getting very lightheaded, and I didn't quite make it up, so now I'm just sort of watching ahead of myself. Jump! Oh, goodness. The light is gone. Let's use the silhouette and hope that I don't fall through. Okay, I can very lightly see that I think over there's some more gaps. But even with the brightness up quite a ways, yeah, this is clearly intentionally meant to be a problem if you don't have the light with you. I did not follow that fast enough. Oh, there's still quite a ways to go. We've still got a few more platforms to jump over, it looks like. So I guess this is almost as much of a platformer as it is an exploration game, which I also really appreciate, because there's not a lot of games that are devoted to just explicitly just exploration and platforming. You know, Mirror's Edge got pretty close, but then we went very much in a narrative-oriented direction, and it definitely wasn't nearly this abstract either. So if there was to be a game that was basically tailor-made for me, this is getting pretty close. I have no idea where I'm supposed to be going now, which I love. Maybe I need to be up on one of these platforms? No, it seems like they're stepping me back down again, but I think this might have been the way... Uh-oh, did I mess up my path? I might have messed up the path, guys. That worries me. I hope it locked in that I made it over that jumping puzzle a moment ago. Uh-oh. Oh, that sounded painful. Yep, totally messed that up. I guess I might have to go back through again. Well, that's a little bit dangerous. If you just miss that jump, it sounds like you're gonna have to do some more work. Wait, did I go to a totally different place this time? Oh, goodness, I have no idea what to do about that. Let's wait for that to reset. Does that reset? Oh, I guess I toggle it from one side to the other. So I think what I need to do is get it to be solid, and then run through it, and then jump at the last second. Yeah, and that'll get me through to here. So this is going to be an entire realm of immaterial blocks and formations, I suppose. And each one of these switches seems like it's going to now start to develop a little bit of a puzzle, perhaps, which I find very entrancing and strange as well. I wasn't really sure if there was going to be puzzles, so little by little, the elements of this game are becoming clear. One direction took me to a platformy side, the other direction took me to a puzzly side, and I like them both quite a bit. I think, though, I will wrap up the video at this point, just because I don't want to spoil too much of this experience. It seems to be one of those things that's very much dependent on your own personal exploration and understanding of what's going on, and I really don't like to take away too much from those things, and also because I just kind of want to experience this without narrating over it, just so I can, you know, just take in all the sights and sounds of everything. There is quite a lovely soundtrack playing as well, though I have it rather turned down in the mix for this, just so it isn't overpowering my voice. So I could not really give you much higher praise for NaissanceE, and I definitely think you should go check it out on Steam. I'm going to have a link for it right in the description. Go check it out, let me know what you think. What even did you think about this video so far? I'd love to hear your opinions on it. What, in general, do you think of this sort of a concept of a very surreal and abstracted first-person exploration game that actually has some sort of linear progression to it? Because sometimes you get something like Proteus, which is very much about exploration, but it's not really guided or driven forward in any particular dimension. It's just sort of, it is what you make of it. This one, it has a story to tell. It's just going to have you figure out every point of it, I believe. And I think a lot of that story has to do with the ambience. So anyway, I won't go too much further. I just want to say, really happy I checked this one out. To everyone who recommended it for the channel, you were totally right. I didn't disbelieve you for a second. As soon as I saw the screenshots, I was like, yep, I'm absolutely going to love that game. And I was not incorrect. So again, links in the description as well as my other social media links. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving some support in the form of a like. Up to you, of course, if you think I deserved one. And, of course, check out some of my other social media stuff. Like I said, my Facebook, my Twitch, my Twitter. And, of course, indie-impressions.com for hundreds and hundreds of other videos in this series. Sorry, I'm just wandering back and forth now. I'm not really sure where else to go without starting to get into toggling these switches back and forth. But I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a lovely night.